the last day of what? Fair Camp TV. I'm Miss Barbara, and I'm with my favorite Kid Camp hosts,
Lou, Layla,
and today we've got bees. It's very buzzy in here. This is not pretend. These are real bees in this box. And in a little bit, we're going to have our friend, beekeeper Josh, in the studio to share with us about bees in Madera County and honey and pollination. Earlier in the week, we talked about a blossom time and how important that time is with the bees. So all of our ag learning is coming together. I think we should get ready.
Say it?
Say what?
Say who? Can you spot the queen bee? She's somewhere in the front right here.
That's going to take some real zooming in from our
We know where she is.
cameraman.
Do you know where? Oh, I can hear them buzzing. Can you hear them?
I think beekeeper Josh is probably going to help us with that in a minute. It's awesome.
Oh my gosh, I can hear.
Wait, what are you wearing? I just noticed.
We're wearing bee suits. Bee suit. We look like giant marshmallows.
It's true.
What? We are giant marshmallows and bees.
Yes.
We are.
If you're on chat with us today, let's go ahead and get warmed up. In order to chat, you have to subscribe. And as you chat, every day we do pick a winner. So today's random winner is going to win 2 tickets to the 2021 fair. We've been giving away carnival wristbands. So maybe today you get your gay admission. We aren't picking a winner yet. Oh, they're practicing their drum roll for a winner. So in the chat today, we want you to answer this question. Don't say anything.
No.
If you've watched day 1, 2, or 3, go ahead and put in the chat one of the Madera County commodities, which means something that grows in Madera that we learned about. Drop one of those in the chat.
Almonds. Are you serious? Can you blur his voice out right there?
You gave it away, but there's 2 more things that we learned about on day 2 and 3.
Honey.
Honey is today. I'm not sure you were paying attention.
And milk.
Milk. And the last one, Layla.
Let them chat what it is.
Chat.
Come on, chat.
Are we doing some
Everybody
answers,
says
Miss
it.
Lynnette, in the chat room?
We have questions already, man.
Whoa.
But grapes.
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 You got it,
We
Vinny?
got almonds, grapes, and milk.
Wow.
Almonds and grapes and
Vincent said raisins.
Bonus, because the grapes turned into raisins.
And
Good
Alan
stuff.
already wants to know how many bees are right there.
Oh, so many questions. So I guess go ahead, start typing your questions for the beekeeper. I think we have a lot of information to learn. It's super interesting. So go ahead and get that started. And in just a minute, we are going to be bringing in our very special guest, beekeeper Josh Blair. Come on in, Josh.
Come out.
Welcome into our Fair Camp studio.
Thank you.
This is beekeeper Josh.
Hi guys.
Hi.
How do you guys feel in those suits?
Good.
You look good. That helps. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys.
Tell us a little bit about beekeeping, like when you started and those things.
So I work for my dad. My dad's my boss, and he's been doing bees for 35 years and owning his own business. And I actually started in 1973 working for his uncle. So we go back quite a ways, and I have several cousins that are beekeepers, that are phenomenal beekeepers. And so I actually started working with my dad when I was 8 years old. Don't call labor laws, okay? But I started doing that when I was 8, and then I went through high school working with him, and then college during the summers. And then finally, about 4 years ago, I started working with him full-time as a full-time beekeeper.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of fun.
And you keep your beehives in Madera County?
Most of the year we do, but other times we're in all of other different counties.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're in Fresno County, Tulare County, San Bernardino.
Okay.
So we're kind of all over the place in California.
Because farmers need beekeepers to take their beehives during pollination time, correct? Or
Right.
during like spring or when any particular thing is blooming.
Right, and obviously right now, guys, you talked about it this week about almonds, right? And almonds is the largest pollination in California at this time, where we're importing bees from all over the United States. As far as Florida, are coming in to California just for almond pollination. So that's it. That we begin that in February, in March, and moving them out around the first week of April, and it's massive.
The bees are busy, literally, and they go all over United States. They are traveling bees.
That's right.
They will travel until they can reach the ends of the earth.
And pollinate. And they do their work to make sure that those blossoms become fruitful into harvest.
That's right. Yeah.
So what are we looking at here on our table?
Yeah, awesome. Great question. So I brought in a frame of bees, and I know somebody had the question, how many bees are on this frame? And I didn't count them beforehand, so I apologize.
But you probably have a really accurate estimate. Don't say it out loud.
Okay.
Because you can type your guess in the chat, and then towards the end of our time, you can tell us. Yeah. You're
going to win. And so this actually is a frame of brood. It comes out of a brood chamber. So in a hive, there are several frames near the middle of the hive that are called the brood chamber. And it's in the middle because that's where the bees can control the temperature. So the bees actually cool this down so that they don't overheat when it lays eggs. And the queen, which I don't know if you guys found her or not, but if you want to zoom in, she's right here. And there she is. See that long thorax right there? And she's the one who comes in and lays eggs inside the cone. And the bees help to make sure that those eggs stay cool and they mature into larvae and then further on into pupa. And then they seal it, and then it grows and hatches 21 days later into a fully formed worker bee.
Wow.
So that's what we have here. And on this frame, there's also spots of pollen in here, a little bit of nectar and honey to feed them. And if you notice, some bees are wiggling and dancing because they had found a pollen source earlier this morning, and they're trying to tell everyone else where they're at. And then they're getting frustrated because they can't leave the glass to go pollinate more things. So yeah,
they want to work all the time.
Yeah, I mean that's what they're called worker bees, and they live up to their name. They love to work. You don't really have lazy bees. Well, you do. They're called drones, and those are the male bees who don't do anything else in the hive except to mate with the queen.
They don't go out to the flowers or blossom.
No, they do
nothing.
Absolutely nothing. They sit, they eat, and they have one job.
Okay.
Yep.
Drones.
Mm-hmm. We might have one. Actually, there's one right here. See how?
I can see
so there's a drone right there. It's very large. It's much larger than the worker bees.
Oh, I think was thinking, okay.
Yeah, so this is the drone right there.
Got it.
It takes 28 days to make a drone once the queen lays it. The queen takes 16 days to make a queen and 21 days for a worker.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You are on my back.
I'm holding this hat in for you because it's on me. Do you guys have questions?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what's your question?
What do you got?
I see 2 baby eggs right into the same hole, but I saw one bee. His head was stuck, his body was stuck. He tried to get out, but he couldn't get out, but he died.
Oh, no.
Oh, maybe he was working on one of the little honey.
Yeah, he might have been packing inside there, putting some pollen in there, or maybe getting some out. Because the bees get 2 things from plants. They get nectar and pollen. And pollen is kind of like their bread. And they feed the queen pollen to stimulate her to keep laying. So when they have really good pollen sources, the hive grows really large because she keeps laying eggs and they get bigger. And they use the nectar to turn it into, do you know?
Honey.
They turn it into honey, that's right. So they take the nectar from the plant and they fan it, and cool it, and they
take it back to
eat
their
some of it,
nest.
and then they regurgitate some of it, and they put it into the cone and fan out the moisture, and they make honey, and then we eat it, and it's delicious.
He said it was bee throw up. It's honey.
We eat bee throw up?
Basically, but it's real good.
It's delicious, and it's not really.
It's not really.
It's like bees have more than one stomach, so it's not like us. When food goes into one stomach, comes out, it's horrible. But for them, it actually gets processed that way.
And that's how the honey gets made. So how much honey does a hive make?
Right, so great question. So we hope it makes a lot. Depending on what they're in and what they're working. So when they go out of almonds into oranges, they make orange blossom honey. And we hope they can make 100 pounds per hive. That would be a phenomenal
100
amount.
pounds per hive. Like, is that a big drum?
So at one drum, 55 gallons is about 650 pounds of honey.
Wow.
Right. Yeah.
That's a lot of honey.
Yeah. So we try, in our larger production days, we're making over 100 drums of honey. And but other beekeepers are making hundreds of drums of honey.
In a
year.
season or all year long?
All year long,
Okay.
yeah. So from one
To two.
honey production crop to another. They'll
When you
continue to
like
make it.
scrape the honey off, you don't scrape the eggs, right?
Yeah, so we leave the brood alone, and some people will put queen excluders on. It's a metal mesh that goes over the hive base. So a hive is typically made up of 2 boxes, and then they put the mesh there, and then everything above that are honey supers. We call those honey supers so that the bees will make honey in there, and the queen won't go up there and lay eggs, because we don't want to take the eggs out of the hive. We want to keep them in there.
Right. Sounds good.
That looks cool.
That's in the middle of springtime with blossoms, I guess.
Yep.
They're working very hard. So in Madera, mostly we drive around and we see like almonds are about to harvest, grapes are on the vine. So there's not any need for bees right now in our fields, in our crops,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So
So right now the bees are in other places. Some are on the coast, some are up in the foothills, on the west side, on the other side of I-5. So they're kind of all over the place where beekeepers in California can continue to help the bees stay healthy and make a crop. So some are near cotton, and some are in alfalfa.
where they're blooming.
Alpha.
Yeah, where it's blooming, if
Okay.
they allow the alfalfa to bloom.
You always
before
think of
cutting it.
alfalfa and the Little Rascals. We're talking about something different.
Oh, yeah.
Not the guy with the hair. Alfalfa grows.
Who's alfalfa?
All right. Do we have questions coming in our chat today?
We have quite a few.
Okay.
So the first one is, what is the queen's job?
Yeah,
Her real job.
her job is to lay eggs. And if she's a good queen, she'll lay a lot of eggs during her lifetime. And the hive is determined if it's a good hive or a strong hive based on the queen. So if it's a bad queen, it's a bad hive. If it's a good queen, it's a good hive.
What's a good amount of eggs?
That's a great question.
Like this looks like a lot going on.
Yeah,
Would this queen be doing a good job?
she's not the best queen. So we can tell that by her pattern. So some of these
She's
bees
an
would-
average queen.
Yeah, she's not bad. She's not flunking, but she's passing, right? So you can tell by the brood pattern. So if the brood, all these little dots here, if it was solid, then we would consider her to be a tremendous queen. So she might be a little bit older queen. This frame came out of a nucleus hive that we have in the bee yard there at the shop, and so it actually came in from a swarm. So she might have been an older queen that came in, and so as the queens get older, they kind of run out of steam, so they stop producing.
I run out of steam sometimes too.
I see the you guys sometimes replace the queen with a good queen.
Yes,
Oh,
we
that's
do.
a good question.
We certainly do. Yeah, there are people who make queens just for a living. We have some in Northern California. We actually get our queens from Hawaii because they're more laid back and love to surf. So we typically get our queens. We bring them in from Hawaii.
Is coming all the way up there.
You see her?
Yeah.
Where's
She's traveling. There she is. She's
She's
right.
traveling up or she's traveling down?
She's traveling up. She's looking for a hole that's empty she can lay in. So she's checking that out. So that's
Give us
her. That's her
another
main job.
question from the chat.
Chloe wants to know what the bees eat.
Great. Yeah, the bees eat pollen and nectar. When they turn it into honey, they'll eat the honey too. So the honey, they produce it in the summer, and then they use that to store for the winter. So we make sure that we don't take all the honey from the hives because we don't want to make them too light, or else they'll starve. So we only take the honey that they overproduce. We give them more room to continue to work, and then they eat the honey in the winter to stay alive and pollen.
Any more questions?
Oh yes. How many honey jars or bottles do you produce?
Like
a year. Yeah.
So typically, like last year, I think we did 80 drums of honey, and a drum is 650 pounds roughly. So if we do 1 pound jars, that's a lot of jars. So 850 jars times 80. So you do the math at home right now. Don't use the calculator. Just do it. Do they still teach multiplication in school? I
A
don't know.
version they do.
I see an egg.
We have more
There's
questions.
a bee
Okay,
inside.
give me 2 more questions.
2 more questions. Okay. How do they talk to each other? You mentioned
Yeah.
that they talk and tell each other, but how do they do that?
Yeah.
Kinsey wants to know.
Great, hey, Kinsey, great question. So bees like to dance. I don't know if you like to dance or not, but they actually communicate through dancing, and they also have pheromones that they release. So there's a protective pheromone that they release when they feel like they're under attack, and they'll release this pheromone that alerts the rest of the hive, saying, hey, be on high alert. We have an intruder coming in, and that's how they communicate, and they dance. So if there's a bee that comes in and starts dancing around the hive and tells them, hey, you're going to turn a left at that big tree, and there's a rock, and you're going to go over that rock, and you're going to find this pollen source or this
How
nectar
do
source.
they dance?
That's so smart.
Yeah.
Can you show us how they dance?
Oh, sure, yeah. No.
All right, one more question.
So Mila wants to know if they ever stop working.
Wow.
Wow, yeah. So in the winter, when it gets very cold and they have a hard time maintaining the temperature of their hive, they'll cluster together and just kind of hunker down in the winter. So like some of us do when it gets really cold. We don't want to go out. We don't want to do anything. We don't want to bundle up. That's what bees do. So they're not flying out to work. And so that's what they're trying to maintain the temperature of their hive. The queen sometimes will continue to lay through California winters because it doesn't get very cold here, but they want to maintain that core temperature. So they'll not do a lot of work then.
There is one more, and
Okay.
it's almost the same.
While we're here, I want you guys to start dropping the number that you think how many bees are in here, and Beekeeper Josh is going to give us the closest estimated guess. And I think we can give away some more gate admission tickets. So whoever has the closest guess to Beekeeper Josh's guess is going to win 2 tickets to the fair. Sounds like a ghost beekeeper going on here. So give me one more question while you're putting your guesses in the chat.
Zoe and Lance have about the same question. Zoe says, how long do the bees live? And then Lance asks, what happens when the queen dies?
Oh, okay, great question. So the bees live depending on the season that they're in. So if they're in a huge flow, they're working a lot. So maybe even in almond pollination or in orange blossom when they're trying to make a lot of honey, they'll live just a few weeks. They'll work, especially in the oranges when they're trying to make a lot of honey. They'll work from sunrise to sunset, even after dark as they're flying back to their hive. So they don't live very long there. But in the winter, when they're not doing much, they can live all the way through the winter. And then they'll have those bees going into almonds. So, and then the queen, what happens when the queen dies? The bees, either the hive is bad, or if she's a good queen and she's laid eggs already and then she dies, they'll make a new queen. They'll take an egg, they'll feed it royal jelly, and 16 days later, they'll extend one of these cones out and make it a queen cell, and then she'll come out.
And they
they'll
give
have a
her a
new-
little crown.
What's
They have
the
a little-
queen gel? What's the royal
The
gel?
royal jelly. So it's something that they make. I don't really know how they make it. I'm sure other beekeepers might know it who are more experienced than me. But they produce it based on what they have in there, and then they feed that to the larva and the egg, and then they will produce a queen.
What happens if on accident they feed two different
Yeah, they'll do
eggs?
that. Sometimes they'll have multiple cells in a hive. So sometimes they don't just bank on one being good. They have to kind of make sure they're going to get a good queen out of it. Yeah.
All right,
Great
we
question.
are about to find out how many your best guess is in there.
All right.
Our hosts are wearing these outfits. So is this something that you would wear when you go to check on your hives to protect yourself?
Yeah, something very similar to that. Yeah, maybe not as fancy, but yeah, it's something very, very similar to that.
Because it protects you, right, from getting bees
Yeah.
stung.
Yeah, and it doesn't mean that I'm 100% immune for bee stings. They can still sting through that, but it's white, so that means they're not so aggressive towards that color. Darker colors are a bit more aggressive, so you never want to wear black around beehives because they're a little bit more aggressive towards that. They're attracted to colors, so if you walk outside and your bees are flying around you and you have a colorful shirt on, they're not angry trying to sting you, they're just trying to pollinate you, so be careful about that. And so yeah, we use white because they can't really see it very well. It makes them less aggressive. But they can still sting through it if we're not careful and we're not treating them gently.
How do you get the bee off you if you have a colorful shirt?
Yeah, so great question. So typically if a bee is walking up, you can kind of just brush it off. You don't want to try to grab it because then they feel threatened, like they're getting squeezed. They'll try to sting you. Yeah, and you could flick it if you're really good at that, but you could also make them angry. So the best way to do it is just brush them off. If they're crawling, you stay calm and just brush it off. Or if a bee's flying around you, trying to check you out, you can just put your hand up and kind of tell it to back away. We used to say when I was a kid, talk to the hand, but we don't talk like that anymore. But you can tell the bee to talk to the hand and just be gentle with that.
Get away.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, do we have some guesses of how many bees are here in the chat?
Quite a few has answered 200.
Okay.
We have a 300, a 350, and a 379.
Do you guys have a guess? Do you have a guess, Layla? What's your number?
There has to be, I don't know.
Do you have a guess, Luke? How many bees are in there? What's your number?
3,000.
3,000?
3,000.
I'm going to guess,
520.
I say like between 8 and 900. That's my guess.
I go like at 500 or something.
This is like the price is right.
Yeah, that's great.
500 for you? Okay.
Yeah,
And the number best guess you think that's in there, Beekeeper Josh,
I would
is?
estimate about 650 bees.
Savannah Macias guessed 520.
All right, Savannah.
Wow.
We got some fair admission tickets coming your way for the closest without going. The price is right for you, man. All right. We are about to send our campers off to a bee quiz, and so you'll have an opportunity to drop your answers in the chat while you watch this, and we'll pick a winner at the end of the show for more fair tickets coming up. Thank you so much for coming
Thanks,
in
guys. Yeah, thanks
and
for
bringing
having me.
your bee pals. And there's a lot. I feel like we could continue to ask you lots and lots of questions.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. This is an important part of agriculture in Madera. It's really the moneymaker, right? If the bees didn't come and pollinate, then we would have nothing to pick at the end.
Yep.
Yep.
That's great.
Could there be king bees or is there only queen bees?
There's only queens.
Hey, shout out to the queens. All right.
You were almost gonna
Oh, I'm sorry, I
in my
almost knocked you down,
face.
your big marshmallow suit. Good thing it's padded. You would have bounced just like a marshmallow. Here comes your ag quiz for the day.
Which of these bees is the queen? Is it A, B, or C? Type your answer in the chat. C is the queen. What part of the bee is the body? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? C is the body of the bee. It includes the thorax and abdomen. Which part of the body is the antenna? Is it A, B, C, D, or E? The answer is B. Which part of the body are the wings? A, B, C, D, or E? D. That's the wings. What part of the bee is the head? A, B, C, D, or E? A is the head of the bee. What part of the body is the stinger on the bee? A, B, C, D, or E? E is the stinger.
Hi, campers. How are you today? We are here to do another craft with you. But real quick, I want to share with you a couple of things. On our webpage, we do have our material list and all the instructions that we have done this week that you can enter into our Fair Camp events page right here. Do you see that?
Mm-hmm.
That's our Fair Camp. And anything that we have done, the beautiful paintings that Layla and Luke have done this week, these can go in. The cow sculpture, this is a progression right here. We need to fix the little face right here with the little mouth, but we are in process of getting this all done for the fair. So any of these things can be entered into our fair contest anytime between now and August 24th. So you have almost a month to get this all done. So lots of time for homework, huh?
Yes.
So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a bee project.
Wow.
So it looks like this. I'm going to give that to you just to kind of move it over to the side. It looks like this. Kind of like what we learned about today in the interview, right?
Yes.
Did you guys like those? Those
Yes.
bees that were
Yes.
buzzing around? I'll give you those two to put off to
And
the side.
did you spot the queen bee?
Luke wants to know if you spotted that queen bee.
Did you hear her shout out where the queen bee
I think so. So let's go ahead and get our pattern. This is the one that you can download and print off at home. And you are going to cut out this circle that says body and wings because it is the same one. Same one for all the shapes. So go ahead and cut out that big circle, being very, very careful
I am not good at cutting, but I will try.
to cut all the way around. And what we need is to cut out one white circle, like that. We need to cut out 3 yellow circles and 2 black circles. So what I'm going to have you guys do is look for that white circle on your
This is just
paper.
gonna take
Yeah, right there.
No.
And what you're going to do with that white circle,
Cut it.
go ahead and find that white circle and you're going to fold it in half. And then I need you guys to cut that right down the middle, okay? Follow that folded line right down the middle. Oh, I'm sorry, I took yours. sorry. Cut that right down the side, and that's going to become our wings.
Where?
And we're putting that off to the side. Here is that.
In the middle?
Here. You're going to fold it in half. Can you fold it? Here, fold it first.
Now I'm going to finish cutting
There you
where
go.
it says body and...
And then I need you, hang on. I need you to cut it right down that middle, okay? Because that's going to become your wings.
Like this? I am scared.
Yep. Just like that, Luke. You're doing a great job. And so that white circle now becomes the wings. Put those off to the side. I'm going to put those right there for you.
I already did it.
You already did it. Oh my goodness, you're fast. And then I need you guys to
I don't
find
need it anymore.
your yellow circle. And I
Yellow
put some glue down on your table.
Blue.
And you're going to put a little bit of glue down on one side, just like this.
One side.
One side. And then you're going to find that black circle,
On one side?
just on one side. Yep. And you're going to glue it together.
Like that?
Just like that. We're making the bee body. So put another spot of glue right there.
And then take your yellow.
And take the yellow. You were right, Layla. And then another black circle.
Oh.
Uh-huh. I'm going to tell you, this is the easiest craft we've done, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, do the yellow one.
Oh no.
Oops, here. Put the glue right there on that one.
I gotta add more glue and then stick it.
Okay. Whoops.
Why is this looking
Let's see. We've
like
got to go.
bracelet?
We got to put that one on this side. Put some glue right there.
It's looking like a
Okay.
bracelet.
Kind of like a bracelet. There you go. And now the black one goes right there. Okay. So now you're building that bee body, right? You need one more on there. Yep. Put one more on there.
Just glue it.
You should
we're
end up-
making a snowman.
You're making a snowman. You're making a cute little bee, aren't you? What would you name your bee?
Yours
is it?
Angel. Mine's
Angel?
looking weird a little bit.
Yours all, it's a rendition of a bee. Do you want to put them a little bit closer?
Wings.
You can put one a little bit closer. Sure.
Now for the wings.
Yeah, let's put the wings on. So now you're going to put a little bit of glue on one side of this wing here, like that.
Okay, where's my? Oh, I was like,
And you're going to place that in between the black side, right? Probably right in here, like that. Like that?
How did you do that? Do you want
Oh,
me to
just place it right here. Watch, right?
just
yeah,
add a
but make it
little
go
bit
up
of
like
glue,
this.
and then just
There.
slide it in.
There's one wing. And a bee has 2 wings, right?
Yeah.
So get the other wing on there.
I don't know.
Yep.
Where's that one go?
That one's going to go about right in here. Like that. And you know, you saw those bees this morning. They were flying, or not flying, but they were kind of dancing all over, huh? Did you get it on there, Luke? Good. Okay, so now we have to make, we need one more. Let's put that one on there. Okay,
Mine's
you got
starting
it?
to look cute.
It's starting to look cute. Look at that. Looks like we need a mouth and some eyes. So you have 2 little tiny circles on your desk area.
These are very
Those need to go in right here by
glue it.
the head. Yeah, go ahead and glue those in.
I can put them wherever I want.
You could make them closer.
Oh, almost.
The show's done. Not yet. Almost. We got to get our eyes on here. So put the 2 eyes on, just like that. And you know, we have markers here or pencils. Just go ahead and draw in the eyes.
I'm gonna draw in.
Kind of color them in. You can use a pencil or a marker, but you're just going to kind of color them in.
Oh, I got a little.
And you got to find a stinger. Did you find the stinger on your
Right
plate?
here.
Oh, yeah.
Don't
Pick
get
one.
stings.
Pick one of those.
I'm just gonna keep my
And where does the stinger go?
on its butt.
Go ahead and put the stinger on
His butt cheek.
on the back side of the bee. Can I have one of yours, Luke?
Yeah.
Which one can I have?
It's to make it. There we go.
Which one would look best?
I've made my bee.
Did you make your bee? Oh, we gotta make.
This.
You gotta draw in a mouth.
This one.
Okay. Draw in a mouth.
This one, maybe. I'm having so
And-
much fun.
Are you? Do you like this craft time?
Yeah, I
I do
love craft
too.
time.
I do too. I think I want to go home and make some more bees.
Look, I did.
You know what we're missing?
What?
It's antennas.
How did
So,
how did
you see this?
Yes.
So what we're going to do is we're going to take our pencil and we need to twirl it. Twirl it so it makes it curly.
Okay. So
Uh-huh. Curl it halfway down. Kind of curl like that. Oh, I love it. Do you think that bee could talk to the other bees?
Yes, with its beautiful antennas.
That's right. So go ahead and curl those down, and you can put those right behind the first yellow circle. Yeah. Okay. And then do the other one. Can you get it on there, Luke?
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And then you should have another one of these antennas.
Yeah. It's right here.
Okay. And so with that, we are almost finished with our bee crafts for today. Remember, can we enter this?
Yes.
Can we take it to the fair?
Yes.
Can our families see it at the fair?
Yes.
Of all the wonderful crafty things that we have done this week?
Yes.
Yes. So if you have any questions, you are more than welcome to give us a call, but we have that online. We also have it in paper form so that you can follow along, or you could rewind this or play it again and follow it step by step. So hopefully all of you have had a wonderful time out there with your crafts that we have done with these fantastic crafters, Luke and Layla. And can we show?
Oh,
Show it.
Wait.
You need the singer? Those are great.
Mine eyelashes.
Okay, we're going to show our crafts here. Are you guys ready?
Not yet.
Not yet.
There we go.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Ready? Bzzz. Happy crafting!
Happy crafting. Now it's time for a joke. Okay, you can go first with the joke. Why did the bee go to the barber shop? I don't know. Why? To get his buzzed haircut. That was pretty good. What did the bee say to the flower? I don't know. Hey, bud. Welcome.
That is the end of our show today. We thank you for joining in with us and Beekeeper Josh. We got to learn about bees and honey. We got to make some bees with stingers. We've had so much fun with you this week on Fair Camp TV. If today was your first day joining us, you can go back to our YouTube page and you'll see day 1, day 2, and day 3, and follow along
Day
with
4.
Day 4 is today. You can see day 4. It'll be up in just a little bit if you need to rewind and watch again or go over those craft steps. If you visit any of the YouTube page or the page and our shows, all of the links are in the description. That will give you the supply list as well as the instructions for crafts. And if you added links that our farmers have provided for us, we're getting ready to pick one more winner to have 2 tickets to the fair, which is in September. We're so excited that the fair is at what?
Drum roll for the winner.
Oh, drum roll for the winner. Okay. And the winner of 2 tickets to the 2021 fair by random selection on a common picker is Alan. Alan Edwin, you get 2 tickets to the fair, and he was so lucky. Alan has been on our show all week. I mean, it's like he should have just been here with us because he won a wristband. Alan's gonna have a good time.
He won
So,
2 wristbands.
I think maybe we should put this.
wristbands.
Maybe when we have the fair on the schedule, we should have a Fair Camp TV Super Slide moment. So if you know what that is, we'll let you know. Meet us at the Super Slide.
And Layla down the Super Slide. I'll
Yeah,
probably
you can
go
race our
other
Kid Camp
ones.
host. Hey, we want to thank you for joining us and participating. We've had fun. We hope you've had fun. We'd like
We
to give
hope you
some shout
had
outs
fun
to our
at our
family and
last
friends.
Fair Camp Day.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Right. And hit our channel on Fair Camp TV.
Yay! We'll see you at the fair in September.
Bye.
Bye.